I'm Coach Drew, owner and head instructor at Planet Jiu-Jitsu Murrieta. I started Jiu-Jitsu in 2011, and when I started Jiu-Jitsu, I was at a low, probably one of the lowest points in my entire life. I weighed 230 pounds, wasn't very active, I was abusing drugs and alcohol. I didn't have a whole lot of direction in my life, and I was very depressed. So, luckily, I had a friend who was training at Planet Jiu-Jitsu Van Nuys. Shout out Will Kang, good friend of mine to this day, and he took me to my first jiu-jitsu class. My first jiu-jitsu class was one of the most humbling experiences of my life. I got tapped out about 37 times by two 115, 120 pound 15-year-olds, 14-year-olds. And they just kept wrapping their legs around my head, wrapping their legs around my arm. They'd take mount position. I would even try and get on top, and they'd slip out to the back and just choke the life out of me. And I'd been in a few bar brawls and some schoolyard scraps growing up, but I'd never had an experience like that. And from that moment forward, I was hooked. One of my biggest motivations was, man, I can't let these little kids do this. This is crazy. And I just had to learn it. I got so enamored, and I got obsessed. Some would say, one of the greatest obsessions of my life. Completely changed my entire lifestyle around. It started with the friends. I started to get really good friends with healthy habits. All my friends at the time had terrible habits because they were all drinking and drugging with me. I started to get physical exercise in, which I didn't do anything. I never did a lot of physical exercise at that time in my life. And I started to bond with good people and learn some valuable skills, obviously, There's a sense of confidence that you develop when you start to train jiu-jitsu. I think Eddie said this, and I agree with it wholeheartedly. Somebody who has like 4 months of jiu-jitsu, like that's it. If you've never done jiu-jitsu before, but you train really consistently for 4 months, could take the average person out on the street there who has no jiu-jitsu. No jiu-jitsu, zero? There's no way. And so I think that's a big testament to the power that this martial art has. And so after training for a while, it was really all I wanted to do. I was working a corporate job, and I was miserable there. And I decided, you know what? I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to figure it out. My mentor, my coach at the time, Alder Hampel, provided opportunities to teach and to learn how to do gym business and to grow. And so I took that opportunity with him, and I started to learn. I started to work at the gym. I started to teach. I started to do private lessons, and I really started to build myself as a coach. And then as a competitor, about 2016, purple belt, I decided that I really wanted to try and compete as much as I could, and I set the goal to do one tournament a month. I ended up doing 16 or 17 by the end of the year. Did a bunch of seminars. I took seminars. I traveled, I trained, I competed all over the country. I went to Peru and competed. One of the greatest experiences of my life. And I really attribute that time in my life to building me up to where I'm at today as far as an instructor and a competitor. And I decided to make jiu-jitsu my lifestyle. And when I decided to make jiu-jitsu my full-time lifestyle, that was when I really, really started to see the big benefits of jiu-jitsu. I always had a couch to sleep on, I always had a gym to train at, and I always had good people to hang out with. Jiu-jitsu community is so amazing. Everybody's so supportive. Planet specifically has the most amazing community. Anywhere you go in the world, you can find a Planet gym. And again, you got a couch to sleep on, you got a place to train, and somebody to show you where all the good eats are at. And so that's my journey. Then I moved out here to Murrieta in 2017, the next year, as a purple belt. I started to teach, and obviously I had a lot to prove. A lot of the brown and black belts from other schools were coming in and training and trying to see where I was at. And at the time, I was very leg lock heavy, actually, and they weren't a thing that was as prevalent as they are today. People are starting to catch up today, but dude, I was doing really well, holding my own, and Eventually I started to build my student base up. Started with 30 students, then got up to 50, then 70, and then eventually, as we transitioned, we got up to about 150 students. Then COVID happened. We dropped all the way back down to 70. And man, COVID, those were rough training times. You know, we closed the gym for a few months, and we were doing stuff up at the house, at my house at the time. And after a while, I was like, man, enough was enough. We started opening the back door, and I was like, look, guys, if you want to train, we're here. If you don't, totally get that, no problem. But, you know, one, I was going crazy not training myself, and two, my business, you know, small business, we had to keep it alive. And so thank God we had the support of our community, man, because members kept paying through the whole thing, and then they started coming back. And now we're right back up to pre-COVID numbers, around 150 members. And I would say that the environment and the community just within our school here has never been stronger. And so I'm super grateful. I'm very grateful, always in gratitude, big concept in my life. And yeah, that's my journey, that's my story. And that's why I'm here doing jiu-jitsu and teaching jiu-jitsu and sharing jiu-jitsu today. I know how much it benefited me, and that's kind of my way of giving back, you know, to be able to teach and share jiu-jitsu with other people and let everybody else improve their lives through everything that jiu-jitsu has to offer.